Peace, peace. What's the deal? What's the deal? What's up? What's up? Peace, peace. What's going on? What's going on? So here we are, whichever day it is. I believe it's the 24th of September. We are in the ninth month. How am I doing? Well, let's talk about it. You know, September, I'm always looking at the numerology, so I look at this as a Mars month or a Mars energy. So this entire month has been all about Mars. If we know anything about Mars, we know it's about endings, more so endings than new beginnings. New beginnings are more like the sun. So this has definitely been a month of me ridding myself of anything that is impure. If you have been following me on Instagram, you see that I'm starting like a workout program. I don't really want to say like I'm joining the gym or anything. I'm just doing all natural workouts, just using nature. So I haven't really been posting too much, but I have been working out every single day, non-stop. I don't stop because I use these secrets. Because you may ask, how do you work out every day, and have time to recover? Because most people need time to recover. They can't just work out 7 days a week, right? Well, if you've been listening to my channel, you should know how I'm able to do it. I'm not going to reveal it here. It's not really a big deal because it's a combination of a lot of things. So what I'm doing now and what I'm going to do moving forward, I'm going to dedicate more time to the bodily or the material realm of the occult. So what I mean by that is I'm going to apply the science, not only to myself, but also to bodybuilding, to getting your physicality on point, not just your money, but your physical shape. So you want to get in shape. You can use occult science to get in shape, not just get the money, not just elevate your wisdom and your spirituality. We can master all 12 houses of the constellations or the zodiac, if you want to put it that way. For those who may not understand where I'm going with this, allow me to explain. Excuse me. You have 12 houses of the zodiac, right? Aries all the way to Pisces. Aries is the self, Pisces is your spirituality. So you got this wheel with 12 chambers, right? The first chamber, of course, is Aries. So if I'm talking about building self-image, we're talking about the first house. We're talking about Aries. We're talking about the trailblazer. To be able to set aflame your body and to shape and mold your body with the flame. Not the water, but the flame. Because we have mastery over every element. Because we have mastery over every element, the body is all elements. So when we activate the fire within our body, it allows us to shape and mold our bodies. When we elevate or activate the water, that helps us to recalibrate the DNA in the blood, because this is all water. When we activate the air element or the wind element, this helps us with breath control, right? Because when you control your breath, not only can you manifest, but you can also receive from the spirit when you alternate your breathing techniques. If you are able to alter your breathing technique, because we all have a standard of how we breathe normally, you must alter the way you normally breathe because it is incorrect. Because we live in these types of environments and societies, our breathing has adapted to allow us to live here. Doesn't mean or doesn't make it natural. So we have to apply conscious intention to alter our breathing and to make it a permanence in our life. We begin to alternate our breathing and to force ourselves to breathe properly. We begin to experience a new insight into things that were once mysterious. So, 9 is also the number of alchemy. So, alchemy has been a very big deal in this month. For anyone who wants to know why I may be slowing down on the videos, it's because I'm doing the work. I have to separate the work that I do from what I bring to the people, because I'm not going to bring you anything I have not tested. So I have to have time to test things before I present them to the people. So after I do the tests, the trials and the tribulations of the occult, because I'm not going to put this in anyone else's hands. It is no one else's responsibility to do this other than me. I understand my position in the life. I have to master the dark side. I am not here to be angelic. I am here to be devilish. I am here to be demonic. I am here to go to the darkest, deepest, hidden chambers of life and to bring back the mysterious occult secrets that no one else is willing to investigate, I should say, right? Who's going to investigate Satanism? Who's going to investigate necromancy? Who's going to investigate witchcraft and sorcery to the utmost and to learn the science behind the workings of these things? It's not many people who are able to withstand that much pressure. So it's no one else's job but mine. So it don't matter if we're talking about the 50 names of Marduk, if we're talking about the 72 Goetia, if we're talking about the clip off, the tree of life, it doesn't matter. I am here to master all of these realms so that when I speak, when I present the information, you know that it's coming from personal experience. You can also see this on the website. Everything that I post on the website is based on personal experience. So I'm not just educating people on the individual spirits that you may see on the website. I'm also speaking about the personal experience. What does it do for you personally? Giving you the science after I have done the work. So for this month of September, I've been doing the work. So you will be seeing more of me as this is my season, being a Scorpio. You know, fall is my season, so you will see me at my most powerful moving forward, just laying the groundwork and laying the foundation to what's to come in the future. These things take a lot of time because you don't really know what to expect. Let me give you an example of what I mean. You may be working with spirits and you really don't know how it's going to affect you personally. You can read the description all you want. You can read what everyone else's experience is all you want. It's not until you summon that motherfucker yourself do you really truly grasp what's really going on. So in the midst of me reading other people's experiences, I have to have my own. I come to realize after working with all 72 demons of the Goetia, just for an example, after I worked with all 72, which took a long time, you know, again, this takes time. This is 72 different spirits. I also work with each of the 50 names of Marduk. So this is hundreds of spirits that you have to build a personal relationship with. Some of these spirits are going to be silent. Some of these spirits are going to be very active. This is determined on your DNA, on your bloodline. This is what I've come to realize working with all of these spirits. It is dependent upon who you are, how your blood works, how your DNA is configured, where you come from in the celestial plane, which constellation you descend from. That determines which spirits or which demons talk to you the loudest and which ones ignore you. Because, you know, you got Star Wars. You got certain energies that are not, you know, they don't want to play well or play nicely with other energies. So if you are a part of that pantheon, they're not going to really, you know, speak much to you. Just like, you know, warfare. If you go to the opposite side, if they let you live, they're not going to reveal any secrets to you. It works like that. So in the midst of working with all these spirits, because again, you know, there's spirits everywhere, all around the world. There's plenty, you know, just get you an encyclopedia of spirits and you can see for yourself how many spirits are available for us to work with. But that's not enough. It's not enough to have a list. It's not enough to have an encyclopedia. What else do you need? You need personal experience. In order to have personal experience, you have to have time. We live in a world where time is very elusive. We feel like time is moving up or moving faster, right? We don't have time. We have to create time. This is what I'm talking about now. How do you create time with time particles? Time particles are subatomic particles. If you split an atom to a subatomic level, so if you break an atom so that nothing, you can call it quantum physics, quantum mechanics, you know, subatomic particles. right? You have time particles. The more time particles you are able to generate, the more time you will have. What does that mean? You may need to sleep less. Let's just say if you sleep for 8 hours, you generate enough time particles, you cut that in half, you only need 4 hours of sleep. And you feel the same. It doesn't take away from your dreams, it doesn't take away from your energy. You just don't need to sleep as much. You are creating time. This is the ultimate science, especially going to 2020 and beyond. We must create time because time is moving away from us. If you're just relying on time, the 24-hour clock, if that is your reality, if that is the matrix that you operate within, you will be destroyed because there is a way to manipulate time, just like they manipulate news, they manipulate information, they can manipulate time, right? But people have not caught up to this yet. They're more concerned with, weather manipulation and CERN, and conspiracy theories and all that. I'm not speaking about none of that. It's a straight science. You have to take time back. Manipulate time. That's the only way you're going to have time to master these sciences. You're not going to learn these in school. You have to take it upon yourself. Everything that I know, I had to work for. Everything in the occult, every single experience, I had to create the time, meaning something else had to be sacrificed. Hence, this is why I do not work a 9 to 5, because I dedicate myself fully. I can't go 50-50. I'm not speaking on anyone else. Someone else may be able to do that. I myself, I know myself. I have to dedicate myself fully to anything. I dedicate my life to this. So because I dedicate my life to this, I require time to study. Without losing time, I have to gain time. I need more time. I don't need less time. So I cannot leave that in someone else's hands. I have to take it upon myself. We are the creators of our universe. We are the creators of our matrix. So we must create time. Just like recreate relationships, just like recreate our self-image, just like recreate our bank account, we have to create time. If you are creating time, you will have plenty of it to study the occult. The one complaint everyone has, I don't have enough time. I have kids to take care of. I have bills to pay. All of the low magic. This is low magic, right? Low magic is getting your financial security on point, getting your financial and your material plane on point. That's low magic. High magic is more about ceremonial magic. High magic is more about the Lima, with Aleister Crowley and Helena Blavatsky, the ISIS papers, right? This is the Eastern sciences and the Western sciences as one, which is very complex, which is most people are not going to take the time to decode and to break down these things. And they should not. They don't have the minds to do it because they didn't come to this world to do that. Very few of us have came to this matrix to do this work, which is the hardest work to do because you're not doing this for any type of benefit or any type of gain. What do I mean by that? You don't do this work to gain physically. You do this work to gain in every other dimension of life. What do I mean? You don't need occult science to get money. You don't need occult science to live because most people in this world do not have this science, but they live decent lives, right? So you can have a decent life or a below average or above average. There we go. You can have whatever life without this science. You don't need this science to have any type of lifestyle. So you don't use this knowledge to gain anything in that dimension. But what you do gain is something that you can take with you beyond death. This science helps you to maintain your consciousness when your body dissolves. We understand we all have a time limit here. We have no idea when we're going to depart, but we can control what we depart with. And it's not going to be material. It's not going to be physical. We all know this. What do you retain after death? Your memory. Your memory is based upon you exercising or expanding it, not your memory, everything you've gone through in life. Have you expanded your imagination? Have you expanded your mind? Occult science helps you to do that. So without occult science, you will reincarnate. That's just the way it goes. So for those of us who have been here enough times, like, you know what, I'm not trying to do this again. But those of us who know this, nobody had to tell you, nobody had to tell me. Nobody had to tell me to pick up a book and learn the occult. It was already there, just like I'm sure it was always there for all of us. Nobody had to put you on game. You were already the game. You are the game. You are the master manipulator. You have to control the game. You have to control the board that you set up for yourself. We set up boards for ourselves based upon what we need to master in this life. If you can master your board, there's no need for you to reincarnate. But you must master your board. How do you master your board? You have to know the game that you're playing. Not only do you have to know the game, you have to be wise in your decisions while knowing the game that you occupy. For example, if we take the streets, right? Any streets, the streets are just the rivers, right? The streets were made or patterned after rivers. So when we say the streets, we're just talking about the passageways or the pathways that water flows. The water is just the people. The people are flowing. Their consciousness flows through the streets. So whenever we make a reference to the streets, we're just talking about consciousness. We're not really talking about people, we're talking about consciousness. So whenever we say, or whenever we hear the phrase, the streets is watching, your consciousness can be anywhere. Just ask yourself this. How do people know every single thing that happens in the streets? Just ask yourself. For anybody who's street orientated, how does the streets know every fucking thing that happens in the streets? Is it based on the physical eye or is it based on the third eye? We already know the answer to that question. Just because it may appear one way on the surface, there are those of us who are still connected to our culture that know how to expand our eyesight or to have eyes in the back of our head to have 360 vision. All of these sciences are well alive, but they are secretly guarded. This is not something you're just going to run up on anybody and they're just going to reveal this to you. So how do you learn this? All right, because no one's just going to give it to you. How do you learn it? You have to take it for yourself. What do you mean by take it for yourself? You have to have dedication. You just have to ask for it. What do you mean? Remember, it's not what you read. It's how you read. What do I mean? You can read a mundane book and get sacred wisdom from it. You can watch a mundane movie and get sacred wisdom from it if you have your eyes acclimated to the right frequency. Mundane becomes supernatural when you acclimate your eyesight. You see what no one sees, but you appear to be like everyone else. It's the ultimate disguise. We appear to look like everyone else, but we are completely different. It has to be that way because if we looked the way we reflected from within, let me say that a different way. If we reflected the inner light that we truly have within us, we would look completely different, but we would stand out. We would not be able to contain ourselves. We are not here to stand out. We are here to travel in the quantum. What do I mean? If you need to do a deed that may be devilish, it's not for you to get your hands dirty. What do I mean? You don't study these arts to pick up a gun and shoot. You study these arts to cast spells and to drain life so that you leave no evidence. Remember, witches and warlocks were killed over this shit. They were killed for knowing this shit, for knowing how poison works, for knowing how to kill without a trace, to be undetected in life. To be a true alchemist, you were killed if you knew these sciences. But that's what sparks my interest. That's what I want to know. Why was motherfuckers getting killed? I don't give a fuck what keeps you alive. I want to know what brings death, because that's the real shit. I don't want to know what prolongs life. I'm not concerned with prolonging life. I want to know what will have you killed. Because if I know that, then I have to take my own life into my own hands because I know I may generate or bring that energy upon me, but it's for me to master it. Just because I bring it to me don't mean that it's going to be haphazard and I can't control it. It's the same thing with demons. Some people can control them, some people cannot. Some people can control the energy of death, some people cannot. If you can, you need to, I'm not advising you to do this if this is not your domain. So don't misconstrue the message, right? If you are a dark soul, nothing will move you except dark magic. You don't care about this light shit that does nothing for you. It actually doesn't even work. What do I mean? You may study the Kabbalah, but it don't work for you till you study the clip off, right? There's people who have studied the Kabbalah 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, but still have fear of the clip off. We don't want to touch that. Or the shells, the husk, the evilness, they don't go nowhere near it. But they got all this experience, but have no experience in the dark, have no experience with evil. If you are anything like me, you need experience with evil. You need evil in your life to tame it, not to push it or give it to someone else if they don't deserve it. Let's just say, for example, if you were here to do the devil's work, hypothetically, right? What if you did not come here to do God's work? Instead, you came here to do the devil's work, right? If you came here to do the devil's work, that means certain rules and regulations do not apply to you. Not because you said so, because of what you are. Let's just say you are an immortal. You do not have to live by the same standards of humans because your mind has advanced. You actually will be able to hold fire in the palm of your hands when you tweak your mind. So why? So wow, the regular people, they're like, yo, this is impossible. You perform the impossible every day. Because what do people label you when you do that? They don't say you walk with God, where you have supernatural powers. They say you walk with the devil. Let anybody come claiming to be Jesus and do Jesus shit, they're not going to be accepted. They're going to be one with the devil. They're going to put the devil on them. They're not going to put God on them. This is a gift for God. No, this is not a gift from God. This is a gift from the devil, right? You have to get the energy from the darkest chambers if you want things to work in your favor. Why? Because it's the very thing that no one else is doing. You have to do what no one else is doing. If you want that potent energy, if you want that science, if you want that magic that no one else has, that no one else can tame because they have fear in their heart, you have to do what requires you to deal with your fear. That is the devil card in the tarot. The devil card, right? Why is the devil card there? That means the devil is real, but not in a way that we think about it in the religious sense. Meaning, when you become supernatural, when you become the demon, when you become the wolf, when you become the immortal, you start working with darker energies. When we're talking about the Palo Mayombe spirits, when we're talking about what the witches, what the warlocks work with, when we talk about anything that's devilish, when we talk about anything that's supernatural, leave God out of it. Bring the devil into it. Embrace the devil because it works. It's real, right? If you don't embrace it, then it's going to be a very, very, very hard life because you did not come here to embrace God, this fake God. I'm not talking about the ultimate supreme force. I'm talking about what people deem God, which is the Antichrist, or it's another word for it, the demiurge, right? What most people think is God is a demiurge, is a false God. That fake fucking Jesus on that cross is a demiurge. It's not the real God, but most people think it is. So, if you ain't rolling with that shit, then you need to roll with the devil because God is a fake. God is a fake. The devil is real. So ride with the devil if you truly know who you are. That's what works, right? Because if it doesn't, then your existence is voided. I can honestly say for myself, I am only here. I'm not here because of God. I'm here because of the devil. Because my works show it, right? You guys have seen me all over the fucking place with this science. You see me all over the place with this science. You have not seen it fail. Here I am still, right? Okay. I'm not riding with the devil. I'm good. I got Hecate. What do you think Hecate is? Since motherfuckers want to talk shit, what do you think Hecate is? She is a goddess of the witches, right? What do you think that is? Do you not know Hecate is not embraced? Hecate is a demonic form. Hecate is not with God. However, this is what I'm talking about, right? People would claim a goddess over the devil because they are afraid, right? Witches embrace the devil. Witches are Satanists. Little do you know. Witches are sorcerers. Little do you know. Witches are not demonic. If witches were not demonic, they wouldn't kill their ass, right? I'm only going by history. Why did they have witch hunts if they were so good? Why were they hunting them if they're with God, right? I don't see people hunting Christians. I don't see it happening. They supposedly are with God. I don't see any damage, okay? All right, I think you touched on this earlier, but you can expand. I see everybody asking questions. I don't have a lot of time, but I'll answer. Let's see. I think you touched on this earlier, but can you expand on whether or not these entities are outside of us? Aspects of the mind, or are they both? Some occultists think it's one or the other. They are both. Like you have an outer constellation. Like if you look up in the sky, you can find the constellations, right? You can look up in the sky right now and you can see planets, you can see constellations. They also exist within us. So they are both. As above, so below. As within, so without. Right? They hunted witches because they didn't understand what witches actually do. Exactly. That's my fucking point. That is my fucking point. Why don't they understand? Because they roll with a false god. That's why they don't understand. Because they worship a false deity. That's why they don't understand. That's why they kill witches. Right? Because the ones who were killing witches came in the name of God. You don't fucking know that? They came in the name of God while they were burning these motherfuckers. Men and women and children were getting burned in the name of God. You want to roll with that? Be my guest. You want to roll with a fucking fake deity? Be my guest. Do your history, though. Do your history. I work with a lot of demons and I still have a lot of Christian programming I'm purging off. That's what the dark is for. You want to remove that Christian shit out of your life? You want to remove that? Any religious. I don't want to, I don't want to beat up on Christianity like they're the only ones. Any religion, you want to rid yourself of that shit? Work with the dark side. It's as simple as that. What do you think the clip off is? Right? But if you look at all this stuff on the surface, you're going to miss it, which is why people don't get nowhere. Right? But anyway. All right. We are not evil or demonic. You don't even know what evil or demonic is. You don't even know it. This person calls themselves Shadow, but then you say you're not evil or demonic. Why the fuck do you call yourself Shadow then? You know what I mean? But this is the type of energy we're dealing with. You call yourself Shadow, but then you're trying to get the fuck out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here with that. How do you embrace it, the darkness and the shadow? You have to use science. Science. This is not nothing haphazard. This is not no chaos. This is science. This is high science. This is high magic, right? The Lima, right? All my Crowleyites, y'all know what I'm talking about. The Lima. If you want to go into some dark shit, go into the Lima. Is that the end all be all? No, but it's an introduction. You want an introduction? Study the Lima. Period. Why? Study what the wickedest man on the planet, downloaded. Well, that's what they called him at least, right? They called him the wickedest man. Study his works. Study what that wicked shit is all about. See what he was talking about. See if you can get with it. Most people can't though. But it's a reason. Why? Because of religion. Religion makes us look at people like that in a misconstrued fashion. But nonetheless, that's how it's supposed to be. Keep these things a secret. Because you see, when I speak that real shit, you're going to have people that give you resistance because they lack understanding. We don't have time to go back and forth. We know what's real and what's not. Keep silence. Don't say shit to nobody about this because they don't get it. Your mind has to be configured. I had to configure my mind to understand this. I didn't just come into existence knowing this shit. I had to configure my mind and actually put work in. The only reason I understand this is because I put the work in, because I had no fear. I had to work with the demons and I had to work with the angels. So I am speaking to you as someone who worked with angelic spirits and demonic spirits. I'm not preferring demons over angels. I'm saying be holistic. Don't fear demons and prefer angels. We ain't showing no favoritism. We're about getting results. If you gotta summon demons to get some shit done, to keep your hands clean, then do it. If you need to summon angels to download wisdom, then do so. It's all about that, right? Do you work with the gatekeepers at all? I don't show favoritism. I work wherever the power is. Wherever the power is, that's where I'm at. But you have to find it. You gotta find it. I had to find it. That's why it takes so much time. You have to find this shit. It's not gonna be in your face. You gotta find it. Everything that I know, I had to find on my own. I had to read these scrolls day and night to understand this shit. This is why I reveal it now. That's why I'm still here. I have to be the example, right? I have to be the example. Isn't demons what give you material possessions? No, you can get material possessions by getting a 9 to 5, right? If you want anything material, get a job. You don't need to work with demons to get material possessions. They reduced demons to that. Demons have been reduced to only giving you physical shit. They've been reduced to that by religion. Religion, male demons is just that. But you have to work yourself, right? You have to work yourself. Work with the energy yourself, come to your own conclusion. That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm requesting. Don't take no one else's word for it, including mine. Don't take my word. Work with these energies yourself and come to your own conclusion. Do not allow fear to stop you from traveling your path. Simple as that. And we're not going to allow anybody to tell us different. Anybody have anything to say will be dealt with. It's as simple as that, because we are not coming in a nice energy. I am not angelic or demonic. I am the left and the right hand. Meaning if I got to fuck some shit up, I'm going to fuck it up. But if I got to bring wisdom, I can do that too. The left and the right hand. I am not just a left hand path or a right hand. It's both. Take the middle path. Take the middle path. Right? Magic isn't from God and it isn't from Lucifer. It's from us. And who the fuck are we? Other than God and the devil. So what are you talking about? What are we? We are God and the devil. It's just talking about internal reactions. This is chemistry. This is alchemy. However, if you take it on surface value, it seems like some mysterious shit. And that's what most people do. Again, you're not talking to infants here. We have the science. Anyway, my wife is the highest ranked devil. My mother nature is Satan. It tricks us all the time. Yeah. So Satan is a trickster, right? Who did that? Who said that? Who made Satan a trickster? Because the Bible, because Genesis and the serpent? right? The devil spoke to Eve, right? Then Eve spoke to Adam, the apple. That's the trickster. But no one knows that Eve means serpent, right? Bite on that. The word fucking Eve means serpent. It means serpent. So when Eve speaking to the serpent, it's science. It's science. But if you take it on surface value, you're going to be fucked up. It's science. Most people are not breaking this shit down, so they don't know. They're reading a story and they're taking on face value. And they are left confused. They're left thinking that serpents can talk and you're being manipulated by some unseen force that's tempting you to do fucked up shit. If you believe that, that means you don't take responsibility. All right, let me see. Why is thought so similar to Thoth? Because they are one and the same. They are one and the same. So all these thotties are avatars of Thoth, which is why they're winning, right? I don't see thoughts doing too bad here, right? I'm sure they're being very successful because they are not afraid of who they are. They're not afraid to be sexual. They're not afraid to express their sexuality. They're not afraid to use what they have to get what they want. They have no fear in their heart. So I respect the thotties because they are courageous. They don't give a fuck about what society thinks of them. They're gonna walk around with ass and titties. So be it. All right? We are gods. Okay? We're not the devil. Don't say God and leave out the devil. We got to be holistic. All right? Do you believe it's more useful to go down a dark path as an individualist rather than a group? The highest ranks of dark magic is the individual. You get away from groups. That's why you've never seen me in one. Remember, I've been doing this channel for years. You've never heard me say I'm a part of nothing. All you see is my black fucking face. That's not, I'm saying it's black because it's black and white. All you see is me. All right? You have never heard me say I'm a part of nothing. The highest rank is the individual. You remove yourself from groups. Can't no group tell you nothing about you. Right? Okay. We are the universe walking, breathing, and speaking. We have to reconnect with ourselves. We don't have to reconnect with shit. Don't say you're the universe when you got to reconnect with your own self. That don't make any sense. Don't say that you're the fucking universe, then you got to reconnect to yourself. Where did you go? You're the walking universe and you have to reconnect with yourself. Where the fuck did you go? You ain't go nowhere. The only thing we have to reconnect with, we have to remove. We don't have to reconnect, we have to remove. Remove the bullshit out of your life. Remove that fucking religious shit out your life. That's what you do. Remove the shit. You know what I mean? You don't reconnect with shit, remove it. Because if you reconnect with it without removing the shit, then you will fuck yourself up. Remove the impurities out of your life. That's what you need to do. Fuck reconfiguration. Remove. Remove. I'm getting the two words mixed up. Remove it. Don't reconfigure it. Remove the shit. All right? Remove the shit. God damn it. You said Capricorn are a form of Christ. To me, they are a devilish aspect. The devilish aspect is just as real, though. This is what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. Look at any tarot deck, the devil card is there. Why is it there? Because it is a part of the universe. If you study the Kabbalah, where's the devil card? The devil card is between Tabarith and Hud. All right? You have to study it. Give me 1 second. Huh?
I just want you to come in here, please,
Right now?
and do your reading.
All right. So, that's what I'm talking about. The devil is just as real as God if you understand the science. But that's all for today. All right? Take the darkness and expand it. Use the darkness to remove the impurities before you reconfigure your life. Remove the unnecessary factor. Peace.